of the first part of the essay writing. Okay, and we will begin with the first things first. As I told yesterday, what UPSC expects from you. It's clearly what is UPSC expecting from you is what we are going to start with first. And this is mentioned in your syllabus. So this is mentioned in your syllabus. जब notification आता है, it is mentioned there. So ensure that you have already seen this. If you have not seen this, literally shame on you guys. Okay, this is the most basic of the basic, and you should have seen this. Okay, so let's decipher this. Like, what exactly is UPSC expecting from you? Let's decipher. Candidates may be required to write essays on multiple topics. This is quite simple and straightforward. Candidates writing essays on multiple topics, section A and section B. Okay. Before 2013, it was just one essay for 250 marks. One essay for 250 marks, 2,500 words. That was sometimes, very, very amazing. But 2014 onwards, they brought down the difficulty level and they asked you to write two essays, one on section A and one on section B. So candidate may be required to write essay on multiple topics. That's about it. Now, they will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. Now, what do you understand? Let's make this interactive class. Okay, you can either type it out in the chat box if it's possible, or you can unmute yourself and participate. Let's not make it a monologue, right? So let's make it an interactive class. So they will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. What do you understand by this? Keep closely to the subject of the essay. Very simple. Yeah, anyone? No digression from the topic. All right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. You have to address the demand of the topic. Yes.
So the interpretation should be close to what examiner has said.
Could you be a little louder, Ajay? We couldn't hear you.
So the interpretation of the essay should be closer to what examiner has thought or.
Exactly. So whatever the demand of the topic is there, we should do justice to that. We should be doing justice to that. Now, if you see past 4 years, essay scores are declining. 2021, 115 the average score, 22, 110, 23, 101 to 103, 24, 95 to 96. So overall average scores of the candidates are declining consistently. And my hypothesis, which I think is true to a great extent, is they are giving a lot of weightage to the interpretation of topic. You interpret the topic correctly, properly, and write it from a very broader perspective, you get above average marks in the worst case. And you write a little bit uniquely and innovatively, impactfully, you get good marks. You just interpret the topic without properly, but no diversity or impactfulness, you get average marks. And if you just narrowly interpret the topic, below average marks. If you misinterpret the topic, very poor marks. I've seen answer scripts this time. Like every year, like even when I used to write, there used to be like small candidates once in a while who would get 55, 60. But this year I have seen so many candidates 35, 43, 55, 57, 47. And I don't think this is, if somebody is scoring 55, it's not 30 in one essay and 25 in one essay. It's probably 55 plus 0, because the candidate has not understood the topic properly. candidate has not understood the topic properly and he is being penalized. So if you do not do justice to the topic of the essay, then you will be penalized heavily. If you narrowly interpret below average, properly interpret average, proper interpretation plus broad dimension and innovation, then good marks. And today's entire session will be dedicated to this first line. The entire session for the next 2.5 hours is going to be dedicated to this line itself. Because if this goes wrong, gone, right? 125 marks, or sometimes even the entire 250 marks. Day one itself, you'll be out of the race. Best case scenario then would be attending interview. Rank to nahi aana hai. If you are getting 50 or 60 out of 250 in a paper, कुछ भी हो जाए, rank नहीं आएगा. So they will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. So at any cost, you should be able to do justice to the topic. Now you must be wondering, so what about the counter arguments that you take? What about the additional dimensions that you take? Isn't that going away from the scope of the topic? It is not. You see the word here, closely. Now, if closely is not there, then also the sentence doesn't change much. The candidate will be expected to keep to the subject of the essay. That means stick to the demand. But they used this word closely. And this closely provides that wiggle room for innovation, for counter dimensions, for additional dimensions. And this is what it does. This closely gives you scope for innovation, counter dimensions, additional dimension. But remember, all should be done within the scope of the topic. Now, I can't see you guys, but I really hope you're taking notes. If you're offline, I could keep my eyes on you. So, SH, two types of notes. Whenever I don't say normal things, you take down running notes. When important things are there, I'll inform you priorly. That time I'll dictate the notes. Unless specified, take down running notes. Wherever important section comes, I will give the dictate the notes. Okay? So here you have to go with running. So you can go for innovation, you can go for counter dimensions, you can go for additional dimensions, but within the scope of the topic. That's about it. That is what the first line says. You stick to the topic, do whatever you want within that. Like, let's say if this is the boundary, you start hitting the bullseye. Initially, you start hitting the bullseye and then go this direction, explore this direction, explore this direction, explore this, whatever it is, but stick to the boundary, but start from the center. All right. Next, go to the next slide. To arrange their ideas in an orderly fashion. Now, the thing about the ideas is it's very funny. Ideas come to us randomly. All of a sudden, you are a graduate, you're just about to graduate, and then suddenly one day idea comes. UPSC karenge, we'll do UPSC. You're like, what an idea, sir ji. And then chale gaye coaching karne. And then first attempt prelims nahi nikla. Like it happens with the most of us. But still, after that, you want to give. Second attempt, you went till mains. Third attempt, went till interview. Fourth attempt, CSAT nahi nikla. Many have happened like that. So that is an idea. With respect to anything, we get ideas. But when it comes to essay, we get a lot of ideas when the topic is given to you. But the thing here is, ideas have to be arranged in an orderly fashion. So when they're giving this orderly fashion, what it means is simply, first thing, structure hona chahiye essay mein. Structure should be there. Like introduction, proper body, proper conclusion. In the body also, you will be writing multidimensional. So there should be proper dimensional arrangement. It shouldn't be haphazardly arranged here and there. Something is there, something is not there. Kuch bhi, it's not making sense. It's not giving any sort of feel that you're reading an essay. It may feel like reading a GS answer. So the point here is to arrange your ideas means proper structure. Structure means not just introduction, body, conclusion. Even in the body, there should be proper structure, proper coherence. And the next thing that arranging the ideas in orderly fashion means there should be a proper flow in your essay. Introduction se flow like a body mein. Let's say you wrote 7 dimensions in the body, proper dimension from proper flow from dimension 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and then from 7 to conclusion. So a proper flow in your essay should be there. And that has to be done by arranging your ideas in an orderly fashion. Structure and flow. Because when you start brainstorming, random ideas come to you one after the other. So you cannot go by chronological way. यहाँ पहले ये thought आया था, इस पे लिख दूंगा. Second ये आया था, ये नहीं. You have to sit there in the brainstorming. We'll start. Next is brainstorming only. Today is brainstorming and the first aspect. Keep closer to the subject of the essay, today's session. So you have to, during the brainstorming, the first 15-20 minutes, this is where you arrange your ideas in an orderly fashion. Coming to the next part, to write concisely. Quite obvious, right? What do you understand by concise writing? Write concisely. What do you understand by that? Write concisely. To the point, yes. To the point. Apart from that, writing adequate amount, what is asked? Okay, that is also concise. Not beating around the bush, yes. So the thing here is not to over explain, yes. So you have to be to the point. Now, why? First of all, I'll tell you why concisely. Obviously, Indians, by nature, we are people who just sort of, beat around the bush. Like when I ask, why didn't you write the essay test? And then you'll start, sir, GS पढ़ रहा था, optional पढ़ रहा था, then थोड़ा बोर हो गया, then तबीयत खराब हो गई. लिखूंगा, sir, लिखूंगा, I'll write. And then that writing never happens. So we are known to have a tendency to beat around the bush. And beat around the bush is just boring. There is hardly any substance there. There is hardly any matter. So writing concisely helps you convey impactfully. Concisely means don't confuse for how you write GS points. No, you have to write in paragraphs only. You have to write in paragraphs. Just that, to the point. Short and sweet. Don't over explain. Don't over elaborate. No, if you see, probably the last essays before coming to UPSC, you wrote it in schools and colleges. School में तो essay के लिए पढ़ता नहीं था कोई, right? English miss would have given one topic and should have already given the essay. like कैसे लिखना है, क्या लिखना है. And we used to by heart her essays and then then reproduce that. And then when no essay topic content was given before, if a new topic is given in the school, we'll just sit there and beat around the bush. Like let's say, write about patriotism. I am a very patriotic person. My father is a very patriotic person. My mother is a patriotic person. My sister is a patriotic person. My crush is a very patriotic person. Jai Hind. This is beating around the bush. You simply cannot do that here. You will be heavily penalized. And coming to Why should you write concisely? Anybody can tell me why should you write concisely? From a candidate point of view. Now, beating around the bush is from an examiner, reader point of view, from my point of view, from a candidate, aspirant, from your point of view, why should you write concisely? To save time, ठीक है, but 90 minutes में तो लिखना ही है. Yes, yes.
To save the time of the examiner and as he is exhausted, so
ठीक है, but the more valid answer here is you can write more dimensions, and the more dimensions you can write. So let's say more conciseness, that will lead to more increased dimensions. Increased dimensions will probably lead to increased uniqueness. Increased uniqueness will get you more marks. As simple as that. सब लोग 5 5 6 6 लिख रहे हो, आप 7 8 लिख रहे हो, 1 2 डायमेंशन. So more concise, more dimensions, more uniqueness, more marks. As simple as that. You don't have to worry at all. So let's say क्या होगा? You over elaborated introduction 2.5 पेज का लिख दिया. Right, after that you have 7.5 pages. Body में 1 dimension फिर से 2 पेज का लिख दिया. खत्म, आधा space that is given for you is gone. No matter what you do in the next 5 pages, hardly 3 dimensions, the 2 including conclusion. Or sometimes when you overwrite conclusion, 1 पैरा या 4 लाइन का हो जाएगा GS की तरह, GS way forward की तरह. So that is something I want you guys to keep in mind. Don't beat around the bush. Write concisely, so that more dimensions can be incorporated. And those who are just beginning their essay writing, जिन्होंने essay नहीं लिखा, sir, word limit, word limit कैसे meet होगा, sir? Because if we actually do not beat around the bush, I will teach you techniques in the course that how you can reach the word limit. Okay, you don't have to worry. But it's okay if you are writing this 700, 800 words, but you are not beating around the bush. Because once you develop this habit of beating around the bush, it is very difficult for me to, mold you in our one-on-one sessions. Because मेरा experience ये रहा है कि इसलिए अब next 72 days में, if there is one phrase जो मैं दिन रात सुबह शाम बोलूंगा, that is write concisely. First, especially the first 25 days or first 30 days, second test या third test होने तक, write concisely. The first time I did a essay, इतना बोल दिया था, नींद में भी मेरे को, सपने में भी आता था, write concisely. I'm not even lying. So the thing here is, bad habits if you pick up, it's very difficult for me to cut it down. बोल के. And yes, during our further sessions, we are going to do some exercises on writing concisely also. But it's better to never develop this habit. So prevention is better than cure. समझे? Prevention is better than cure. So, and if you have already developed, it's okay. आज ही छोड़ दो उसको. Leave it. It does not serve you any good. UPSC itself is also telling to write concisely. So if you are beating around the bush, done. Okay? So next, so first parameter is done, next 2 parameters are done. Now, if you can follow this, if I can call this 1, and if I can call this 2, and if I can call this concisely as 3, if you can follow these 3, almost तुम्हारे average marks guarantee है, उस साल का जो भी average है. For example, this year's average score is 95. That is guaranteed if you just follow this 3. पिछले साल का 101 था, वो guaranteed रहेगा. Then how do you make average to above average and good? UPSC has given, credit will be given for effective and exact expression. Effective and exact expression. So first we'll decipher what is exact expression, which will get you that extra credit. It will get you this brownie brownie points that can, push your score up. Anybody? Exact expression क्या होता है? Just can tell me like what is exact expression? You can type it or you can unmute yourself to speak. Using relevant examples? No. Sort of, but not like very up to the mark.
So using poems.
Poems actually ना बहुत complicated होते हैं. Poems are actually, hitting the bullseye. Hitting the bullseye, yes. And to put it properly, to write on point, yes, obviously. That is also concise writing. So, articulate expression. Articulate expression. Now, what? I'll just give you an example. For exact expression from a day-to-day life. अब समझो you are hungry. But you're work or you're studying. You are hungry, and you have not realized that you are hungry. Let's say your mother or father or somebody just comes and sort of talks to you. You get very annoyed. You get like super duper annoyed. Well, no, don't disturb me. I'm studying. It's all India rank one karna mujhe. That's not the exact expression. That's like confused expression. But if you have the self-awareness, if they come and you may get angry for a moment, but then you realize, I've been studying for some time. Give me some food. I want to eat and take a break and then continue. That is the articulate expression in real life. I'll come to essay writing in a articulate expression in a essay writing. So when it comes to essay writing, the articulate expression or the exact expression is when you are conveying the message without any ambiguity. You are conveying the message without any ambiguity. Now, for example, we'll take yesterday's topic. If you want to shine like a star, first embrace the humility of the night. In that, let's say I'm trying to convey something. Humility of night offers us an opportunity to succeed. That's not an exact expression. Humility of night offers us an opportunity to succeed. That's not at all an exact expression. Like, how? The examiner will have so many questions. How? Why? Where? What success? Right? So, the humility of night offers us an opportunity to succeed. It's not at all an exact expression. Now, how to make that exact expression? The humility of night offers us an opportunity to embrace our shortcomings, work on those shortcomings, and then reach the pinnacle of a success and become a shining star. And that is an exact expression. Both times I try to convey the same thing. Both times I try to convey the same thing. But the first time I was very vague. Here I was very particular and specific. So you have to be pretty much specific when it comes to articulate expression. Okay? So I'm spending a little more time here so that you understand, because these are little exact and effective. No? It takes little time. Okay? So exact expression. Let's go back to, or let's go for effective expression. So what do you understand by effective expression? Effective expression. Anybody? Effective expression किसको कहते हैं? Impactful, engaging. Okay. How do you make it impactful and engaging? Relevant points, yes. Relevant point is keep closer to the subject of the essay. Uniqueness and originality. It can be effective. Persuasive writing, choice of words. So many is coming. Even I have very fast reading space, but even before I read, the comments are vanishing. Let me open the chat box here. Wait. Using words to express yourself, interlinking, supporting examples, generating a wow factor to the examiner. ओके 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 वाव एंड में करेंगे अब बेसिक बता देता हूँ इफेक्टिव एक्सप्रेशन का ठीक है सो with respect to the effective expression I'll start by giving an simple example which I always give in my sessions. I'll give you two scenarios, first and second. You tell me which is a more effective expression. Scenario 1: aspirants should write at least 12 to 15 essays before they appear for mains examination. I repeat, scenario 1: candidates must write at least 12 to 15 essays before they appear for their mains examination. Clear? Scenario number 2: candidates must write at least 12 to 15 essays before they appear for mains examination, because all the toppers who have scored very good in essay have recommended this. I repeat, because all the toppers who have scored well in their essays have recommended this. So tell me, obviously, you know the answer, which is the better? Yes, the second one. Why is I have given a substantiation. I have backed it up. This is one way of being effective. So substantiation. I've used the support for my argument. I have used an example. So effective expression will be having that point where you are giving proper substantiation. You are making it impactful. Because if I tell something vague, that is just a vague statement. But if I back it up, like perseverance despite failures will lead to success later on in life. Okay, it's still a statement. But same statement, perseverance despite failure will lead to success later in life, as seen in the life of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who could not uh, be selected to be a pilot, but later become the most famous scientist and people's president. That is an effective expression. And इस एग्जाम्पल जो मैंने अभी बोला है, अगर किसी ने एग्जैक्ट सेम एग्जाम्पल किसी भी टेस्ट में लिखा, so I will scold you. That is a very cliched example. ऐसे flow में मैंने बोल दिया है. So Dr. Kalam failing to be a pilot and becoming people's president and famous scientist, ultra super cliche. Okay, there are certain things which I'll tell you, ultra super cliches, which you have to use only in the worst case. Okay, whenever it's not at all possible for you to use anything else, you can use them. So credit will be given for effective and exact expression. That's about it. So any doubts in this? This is mentioned in your notification. So if you have any doubts, do ask. I'll come to that question. Relax. We have just started. Substantiation will come in another 2 days. Yeah. Replacing Kalam with RCB and PSG. So I'll make some predictions here, cliches for this year. Every year in the first class, I make some predictions for cliches of this year. First one is RCB. इस बार बहुत सारे 18 years के बाद इस साल कप नम दे, which makes me actually very happy being an RCB fan. But the thing here is it's going to be a cliche. Now let's I want you to identify what is in my mind. Let's play a game. Okay. This cliche, I'll give you hints. Okay, let's see who identifies that. And that's the difference between a person who has forward thinking and unique thinking and ordinary thinking. Okay. So this is not at a cliche, but in probably couple of weeks will become a cliche, because when this succeeds, everybody will be posting statuses, stories about this successful thing.
Axiom mission.
Yes,
Axiom.
Axiom mission is what I'm talking about. And last year, during SH 2024, when we were doing conclusion part, I had told, generally this will do this year also, but at the end, when we come to conclusion, I always tell to make some positive predictions about the future. That's called as insights for future as part of conclusion. In that, I had told about making that prediction about, because that mission was announced long back. Still, the astronauts selection or cosmonaut selection was ongoing. This was one of the predictions I had asked my students to make. But last year, it would have been very unique in the conclusion. But if you see this year, anything with respect to science aega, yeah, anything with respect to human resilience aega, innovation aega, 25% of the introduction will start with this Axiom mission and cosmonaut Shukla. His name is cosmonaut Shukla, right? If I'm not wrong. Anybody can confirm? Yeah. So this is going to be a cliche. But don't worry, we'll do some predictions for future when we come to conclusion. So for now, it is not yet a cliche. So before it becomes a cliche, try and harness it to the best possible extent. But since the mission, I was just reading the news in the afternoon, the mission got again postponed. Okay. Unless until it is successfully happens, it will not become a cliche. The moment it happens, every Tom, Dick, and Harry will start using Axiom mission and cosmonaut Shukla, who will become second man after Rakesh Sharma to enter the space. But that can't help it. All right. So, got it? Any doubts? Any further doubts? Let me know. And you're asking a lot of things, and whatever the things that I'll be covering in either today or in the coming sessions, I will not particularly answer them. So don't think that ignore kar raha hu, just because it's going to be covered in the today's session or in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so if no doubts, we'll move to the next slide. What are the types of essays that you can write? The first type of essay is called as an analytical or expository type of essay. क्या करते हो? What is an analysis? Very simple. एक cause or effect. That is analysis. Right? Again, here running notes only you have to take down. You take a topic, you break it down, and then cause and effect देखते हो. Yeah, you start asking question why, how, when, where. But the thing here is, you can write an analytical or an expository type of essay. The analysis that you do, the questions that you ask, the causes or consequences you take should be very, very relevant. It should not be nonsensical. That is the key here. The linkages, the causes, the consequences, the patterns, whatever you do, it's that part, relevance. Now, for example, if you take the topic, not all who wander are lost. Comes your topic, you're doing analysis. A good analysis will be why all those who wander are not lost. Why can we say that those who are wandering are not lost? This is a good analytical question. You can do that. in one dimension of your body. But if you do the analysis, how all those who are wandering will not be lost because they believe in themselves and have faith in themselves. It's not very much relevant to the topic. Or you do the analysis, where do people who get lost to go after they are done with wandering? Is it somewhere related to the topic? Peripherally? Is it relevant? Definitely no. So you need to do the analysis with the right type. And when we come to the body, in probably 2 days, we will learn how to do the analysis. We'll take topics, analyze them. So don't worry. I'm just telling types of essays you can write. And analytical or expository essays have high dividends. Why? It gives depth to the essay. Very simple, very simple. It gives depth to the essay. There's no two ways about that. It gives proper depth to your essay. Otherwise, essays remains very superficial. Okay? So analytical or expository type of style of writing is encouraged for UPSC. There are roughly, in standard essay writing format, 16 types of essay writing. For UPSC, 3 are relevant. And that's what we'll stick to. 3 are the most relevant for UPSC. And इसे काम चल जाएगा. ठीक है? Next is my favorite, argumentative type of essay writing. And this argumentative type of essay writing, to be honest, Indians ko bahut favorite. You know, everybody loves a good argument. Arnab Goswami is screaming, nation wants to know, nation wants to know. Road pe do log jhagda kar rahe hain, 2 people are fighting, 50 people are watching. They have no connection to those 2 people, but just I say, moj mein. So everybody loves a good argument, and UPSC examiners also love a good argument. And it is very simple. What is an argumentative type of essay? You start by building your argument for the topic, then you counter it. So you against the topic. So argument, counter argument. And इसके लिए भी आप substantiation डालोगे, and for this also you add substantiation, because substantiation is how you make with effective substantiation. What and all to use as substantiation we'll see in the body, don't worry. So logically you construct an argument, logically you counter it, and you give evidence for both arguments and counter arguments. And this type of essay writing is called as argumentative style of essay writing. Now, the thing here is, this is also a very good style of essay writing. But I want you to remember right from now onwards, the type of style of essay writing varies with the topic you pick. Why? Because not all topics are analytical, not all topics are argumentative. So if you're trying to build a forceful analysis or forceful argument, then you are being stupid. So the style should be based on the topic that you pick. And in a short while, we will also, when we start with the brainstorming part, we'll also classify the topics of what would be the best approach for those topics. An analytical, an argumentative, partly analytical, partly argumentative, 50-50, or largely analytical and partly argumentative, or fully analytical. So that we will do it in when we start the exercises. So second is argumentative style of essay writing. Both argumentative and analytical are highly rewarding. And then comes the next, not very rewarding, descriptive style of essay writing. Because this is largely about beating around the bush. Descriptive style of essay writing. क्या करना है? उसको बस describe करना है various dimension में. Oh, pestle वाला, this which I am trying to destroy, is part of descriptive style of essay writing. One way of writing descriptive essays is pestle, and then usme examples you put here, or here you put examples. So this should be your worst case. So we will largely focus on all the three, heavily on analytical and argumentative, but still you have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. So you have to be, I'll also teach you how to write descriptive better than others. Okay, descriptive but better than others. Now, when it comes to the topics, you can actually think of it like this. Any topic is a descriptive topic because you can describe anything that is there. Any topic is descriptive. Most topics are analytical. Most topics, because analysis, quick, why, how, when, where, और cause and effect, कहीं ना कुछ तो रहता है most topics में. And some topics are argumentative. So argumentative is some topics. But at least some slight argumentative will be there in 90% of the topic. Some are more balanced, 50-50. Some are purely argumentative. Technical topics, right? Technical topics are purely argumentative in nature. Can capitalism bring inclusive growth? Yes, no. Why? So that kind of topics are purely argumentative. Okay. So these are the three types of approaches that we'll be taking in SAH, right? Focus will be more on analytical and argumentative, and we'll also learn the worst case scenario, descriptive. So if you ask me what style to follow, try to follow a combo of analysis and arguments. And whenever you are short of words, whenever you are unable to do, go for descriptive. That will be your savior, or worst case scenario. When nothing is working, that will help. Okay. Any doubts here before we start formal skill enhancement with brainstorming? Any doubts, do ask. That stand curve we will see later. Don't worry. Okay. So let's start with brainstorm. It's always suggested that you take a neutral stance. We'll come there. Hold on. Don't worry. We'll come there in a couple of days. Okay. So let's continue. Okay. So what exactly is a brainstorming? Brainstorming is very simple. It's random thoughts, ideas come to your mind, and you just put them in an organized manner. Very simple. Random thoughts and ideas, put them in an organized manner, job done. Now, if you see, I call him as father of brainstorming. You all know this guy, right? Professor. Now, what these people are doing in this classroom is they are brainstorming. And they are brainstorming how to rob a bank. They are brainstorming how to rob a bank, basically. Okay. So now, to rob a bank, first thing is, yeah, you have to plan, select which bank you want to rob, preferably one with less security and more money. When, where, how, why. So let's say when you decide to rob a bank, there will be 5 options for you. You select one among them. Date when, there will be probably 2-3 options. You select one among them. So ideas will be a lot, but you go on refining them, eliminating them one by one until you have a draft plan ready. And that, my dear friends, is brainstorming. When you take a essay topic, the thoughts, the ideas, they come to you randomly one after the other. You just scribble down there, keep scribbling. After that, you start accepting a few ideas, rejecting the few ideas, or putting some things on hold. And what you are doing is the brainstorming there. That's all. Don't worry. And now, with respect to brainstorming, what are the major things you have to do? First thing with respect to the brainstorming is very important. Understand the core demand. What is the core demand behind the topic? What are they asking? That is first thing you have to see in brainstorming. Because if you miss the trick here, you will not be able to do justice. The first parameter candidates are expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay is gone. If you narrowly interpret, then also very risky. So the first thing is to understand the core demand. Next thing is nature of the topic. How is it? Purely argumentative, partly analytical, purely analytical, and very slightly argumentative. So understand the nature of the topic. Because one size fits all approach doesn't work. If you just want to write arguments, counter arguments for each and every essay topic, that doesn't work. Because every topic is different. चार topic होते हैं section A में, चार topic होते हैं section B में. Each and every topic is different from each other. So many people are scoring less these days because they have just one size fits all approach. सबको एक ही है, कहीं सीख लिया कि मतलब हाँ ठीक है इस पे ऐसे करते हैं, and they try to apply. No, be flexible. Plan your essays, plan your approach based on the essay topic that's given. Based on the essay topic given. So these are the two. First and the second has to happen. Next is think multidimensionally. Don't make your essay unidimensional or same repetitive themes. So think multidimensionally. 1, 2, and 3 are a must. And next, क्या करना है? Outline your structure before you start writing. So what you are accepting, what you are rejecting, the ideas that came to you. So that has to be there. Develop a rough framework or sequence. Uska, we'll come back to that in the next slide. So we'll come back. So we'll go to manage time well. I'll exactly tell you what should be your sequence of brainstorming. Now manage time well. So the thing about the managing the time well here, dear friends, is a fatal mistake which some people do. 30 minutes, 35 minutes तक brainstorming करते हो. क्या कर रहे हो? Because we cannot give you marks for thinking, we can only give you marks for writing. So let's say 30-35 minutes brainstorming, you start writing, you panic. First essay, nothing will happen. They will take 1 hour 45 minutes for first essay. Next essay, बचे 75 minutes. Topic देखा, 5 minutes brainstorm किया, and remaining 70 minutes लिखा, the two at a compromised quality. And essay paper is not up to the mark. So never, ever, ever do that. Never, ever do that. You have to ensure that you don't take more than 15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes is ideal. Less than that is risky. More than that is very, very risky. So try and finish your brainstorming within 15 to 20 minutes once the paper is given to you. And there may be people who are like, sir, why waste 15-20 minutes? Directly देते हैं. No, I'll tell you why. Yeah, 15-20 minutes per essay. Per essay is what I'm talking, not together. And some people might be thinking, sir, दोनों का ऐसे brainstorm करे क्या साथ में? Why do you want to do that? Take one, do brainstorming, go for the other one. So 15 to 20 minutes is ideal, and don't overspend your time in excessive brainstorm. Now, given the fact that this exceeding of, I'll come to topic selection in just a bit. Have patience, guys. Everything is covered. Don't worry. Mahuna. So the part here now for this 30-35 minutes, where sometimes things happen. Like you take time, excessive time ho jata hai, and you're left with just 70-75 minutes, right? But still you cannot give up. So that's why this time I have introduced a trial by combat test. So that will be have to be written in 75 minutes. 75 minutes may you will write it. And for trial by combat test, I'm not giving any choice of topics. Full length mein to proper UPSC format hoga, section A4, section B4. And trial by combat has to be written in 75 minutes, no choice of topic. And we will be connecting over Google Meet. And I want you guys to switch on the cameras and write on the same designated day. Full and tests are flexible, these are not. And submit immediately after 75 minutes. So this is just to prepare you for extreme case scenario. Because sometimes things happen. My last mains was in 21. And what had happened was I had in section B, there was this topic, hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And I started brainstorming, and I was very confident in that because I had written similar essays before. After 7-8 minutes, it just a thought popped up my head, and I had everything I had made it women centric. Women empowerment, how women are playing a role in early education of children, that creating long lasting impact on the world, society, planet, very multidimensional. And that then a thought popped to me, where have they given in the essay that it is women oriented? There's just a hand that rocks the cradle. And that just was like, oh shit moment kind of a thing. And then I did not want to risk it because now I was not sure about the topic. And then I shifted the topic. I went for the history topic. History was my optional, so I was like, history first repeat itself as a tragedy, then as a farce, and then very bare minimum storming. And then I wrote the essay at a very fast pace. But yeah, luckily I got a good score that year, 128, which was like a good score for 21. But the thing is, things could have gone very wrong. In the end, I did not clear. That's another thing. But it would have been worse. Come ask, and that would have hurt more probably. So the thing here is, so these trial by combat tests are designed to prepare you for the worst case scenario. For the year-long batch, there will be 10, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with you. For the short batch, there is just going to be 2. Okay, so it's okay for the mains people. Little bit of compassion, kindness, empathy, sympathy, I'm showing. So we are going to have a lot of fun together, both the mains batch and the year-long batch. Okay, so moving on. So this will prepare you for the worst case scenario, so that kuch bhi ho gaya, khuda na khasta. But try and finish off one essay in 90 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes of brainstorming, 15 to 20 minutes of, remaining 70-75 minutes of writing. And brainstorming also, it takes a lot of time. I agree. I agree. So what to do when brainstorming takes a lot of time? Now I'll come. Why does brainstorming? See, everything I would have prepared. This is not the first time I'm doing. So I know what are your major doubts. So the thing here is, पेपर देते हैं, you people are like this, एकदम मस्ती मजे में सोच रहे हो कौन सा टॉपिक उठाना है, कौन सा टॉपिक लिखना है, कौन सा नहीं लिखना है. So people spend too much time on selection of the topic. And sometimes I always say that no choice is a good choice. No choice is the best choice. Like for example, yesterday baseline choice ही नहीं था आपके पास, but you still wrote ना. अगर वही मैं 4 टॉपिक और डाल देता, you were like, okay, ये भी आता है, ये भी आता है, ये भी आता है, ये भी आता है. Then you will be like, wow, what's happening? You'll take more time to select the topic. So first thing is you take way too much time in selecting the, and that is where you lose the time. First aspect. And then you know that you have to select the topic and start writing. You have almost finalized, but वहां पे बैठ के कुछ और सोच रहे हैं. हाँ, what if I choose the other one? You have almost 90% you have made the decision, but still you are not sure. And it's 90% move ahead, right? At least do the brainstorming part. हाँ, वहां पे बैठ के कुछ भी कर रहे हो, कुछ भी सोच रहे हो, second guessing yourself. This has to stop right now. You cannot keep on doing that and wasting time. So before I can tell you how to do the brainstorming and how to select the topic, we'll be covering that in the next 2 slides. I will tell you what not to do with respect to brainstorming. First is skipping brainstorming altogether. Like you must be wondering now, why waste time in brainstorming? No, brainstorming has a purpose. Brainstorming, first purpose of it is, remember that first slide? Remember the first slide? Arrange your ideas in an orderly fashion. ये brainstorming में ही होता है. This happens in brainstorming. Arranging your ideas in an orderly fashion. Nowhere else can you do that. I'll tell you how to do that shortly. Okay? And then, if you have done brainstorming, let's say you have done something in the brainstorming, scribble kiya. And after 4 or 5 minutes, like how I realized in 2021, you may get a thought that, have I understood the topic correctly? Am I going in the right direction? If you are unsure now, you can, though you have wasted 4 or 5 minutes, but it's okay. You are still salvageable. Imagine you started writing, introduction hua, and then you are wondering, did I actually understood the topic? Or, but you are gone. You have to continue with the topic. Brainstorming offers you that cushion that, in fail safe. It's your like fail safe, just in case you may lose couple of minutes, but it's okay. It's okay to get average marks than getting a 0. It's okay to get a below average marks than getting a 0. It's okay to stay in the competition to fight in another paper than getting eliminated in essay only. So not addressing the core demand, it can prevent brainstorming. And also what brainstorming does is, if you, let's say you have done brainstorming, you have some lot of dimension 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, introduction हो गया, conclusion हो गया, सब है, लिख रहे हो. After 30 minutes of writing, one more new idea comes to your mind. Like, ये क्या है? Like one more new idea has come to my mind. Then you go to open the brainstorming sheet, and then you note down the idea, new idea. And then you'll see in the flow of the essay, where does it fit? Or if it does fit. Let's say dimension number 5, फीका फीका है, and this new idea can be a better. You swap it. इसको बाहर कर दो, इसको अंदर कर दोगे. Or if it is not fitting anywhere at all, you just tell, thank you for appearing in my brain. Better luck next time. अब कर ही क्या सकते हैं ना? So you can just decide whether or not to incorporate. Or if you can replace one thing and then incorporate. But अगर brainstorming ही नहीं की है, first set of basic ideas are all not there. Other ideas की बात ही नहीं होती ना. The other ideas do not matter because basic ideas are already not there. And it will definitely ruin your structure. There is Very less chance that without brainstorming you are arranging your ideas in an orderly fashion. Very, very less chance. Impossible to nahi kahunga, but very less chance. And some people in brainstorming itself they write a mini essay. लिख रहे हैं हर चीज में एग्जांपल, आर्गुमेंट, काउंटर आर्गुमेंट, एनालिसिस, एवरीथिंग, इंट्रोडक्शन का मिनी essay. No, it will take too much time. Brainstorming should be the bare minimum skeleton. And please do not interpret the topic narrowly. This I have told n number of times. So how to develop that skeleton? How to develop that rough framework? What to do? Now we will see. How should you do the brainstorming? So this is what we will be doing now. Okay. So how to just a moment. Yeah. So how to do the brainstorming? Okay. So random ideas are there. Okay. Random ideas came. You scribbled it down. Okay. In the brainstorming sheet. See, remember, you don't have to have a very good handwriting in the brainstorming sheet. You can scribble. Nobody is going to read that. Okay. Examiner के पास उतना time नहीं होता है. I don't know who told market में चल रहा है brainstorming sheet देखी जाती है. You really think those people have time? Hardly उनको ऐसे पढ़ने में interest होता है. Brainstorming वो नहीं देखते. And they ask you to put a scratch also. Right? So don't believe in these rumors. Common sense use करो. That examiner is being paid per paper. उसको पढ़ना है, marks देने हैं, घर जाने हैं. ठीक है? So don't worry about that. Scribble. ठीक है? Don't. But scribble at the end, आधे घंटे के बाद या 45 minutes के बाद when you visit that sheet again, खुद की handwriting खुद को समझ में आना चाहिए. You should understand your own handwriting. That's all. Don't be like you scribbled some like thing in the doctor's handwriting and then like, अरे यार ये तो मस्त था यार. What is this? I'm not unable to understand. And you're spending 2-3 minutes deciphering that Harappa Mohenjo-daro script of your handwriting. Don't do that. ठीक है? खुद को समझ में आ जाए बस. You should understand. That's all. ठीक है? So just like go for it. Like go for it and then scribble everything. Do randomly. जैसे दिमाग में आ रहे ideas, scribble. Okay. Just and then you have to start this process. First thing you have to do is this idea of introduction. Among all the things that you have scribbled and read, what is going to be your introduction for your essay? Which is going to be your introduction? So the moment you identify the introduction, put it as I. I से mark कर दो, यही मेरा introduction है. ठीक है? I. Next, after introduction is done, which is my first dimension in the body? Mark it number 1. Next, which is going to be my second dimension? एक के बाद, this is going to be my next. Then this is going to be my third. This is going to be my fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, and finally conclusion. Mark it as C. So major idea of the body in that numbering, properly numbering. एक के बाद 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then idea of conclusion. You mark it, and there will be additional content there. Keep it as backup. Okay, so don't scratch it out or anything. Just keep it as backup. But this is your basic skeleton. This should be there. Idea of introduction, and then the idea of the body sequentially organized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Idea of conclusion. Okay. After all this is done, guys. So after all this is done, then you have to see it, like give 40 to 60 seconds to see. Are you satisfied with your introduction? Because introduction has to be impactful. If you are not satisfied, this may, and then we'll call the ones which you are not using as A, B, C, D. These are there scribbled in the brainstorming sheet, but they have not made it to the final list, reserve list mein hai. So are you satisfied with the idea of introduction? Or can anything either from the body or from the reserve list go into this idea of introduction? Can it be a better introduction? If it is there, swap it. Let's say dimension 3 will be a better introduction. Make this as the introduction and introduction को dimension 3 में पे डालो या reserve list से किसी को promote कर दो वहां पे. So brainstorming is offering you flexibility here. And then quickly glance through if your ideas are arranged in an orderly fashion. You have to give the final approval very quickly. ठीक है, हाँ, one के बाद 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, हाँ, largely ठीक है. Looks like ideas are arranged in an orderly fashion. And are you satisfied with their conclusion? 40 to 60 seconds after you're done. You don't have too much time. हाँ, वहाँ बैठ के सोच रहे हो. No. 40 to 60 seconds, guys. And once that is done, one thing that you guys miss in your essays is the core argument or drafting the core argument, because it will help you here only. So prepare a draft core argument. Prepare a draft core argument, because you know what's going to be introduction, what's going to be the major themes of the body and the conclusion. So you can draft your core argument or your thesis. How to do that? Day after tomorrow, or probably even tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will do that. So I'll repeat again. Scribble randomly. Okay? Then start with the introduction. Go with the flow. Then dimensions of the body sequentially arranged. Next, idea of the conclusion. And then if you are getting any unique example, उसको वहीं पे लिख दो, because unique example से मैं forget, हाँ ठीक है, यहाँ पे एक unique example ये होगा, एक unique example यहाँ पे एक होगा. Not for every dimension. Ordinary ones you can generate on the spot, because it shouldn't take too much time. Or within 15-20 minutes you can give examples for everything. Give it, if you can do that, if you are capable. Or you can focus on unique examples. That is your choice. Major dimensions, arguments, analysis यहाँ पे frame कर लिया, conclusion ready हो गया, and then glance it. This is important. Many people miss this trick. हो गया, चलो लिखते हैं. Nope. You have to approve. Review करना है वहाँ पे, mini review. First is, हाँ, is everything within the scope of the topic? And then are you satisfied with the introduction? Proper arranging your ideas. See, repeat those same things what UPSC asks. Is the candidate keeping closely to the subject of the essay? Check. Is the candidate's ideas arranged in an orderly fashion? Check. Are you satisfied with yourself? Then go ahead. Because concisely and all will happen there. Na? Yeah, you have to bas brainstorming there. And then prepare a draft core argument or thesis statement. It's a core argument is a part of introduction. Okay, we will work on that. Okay. So for now, just remember that you have to, in brainstorming only, a draft ready करना है core argument का. ठीक है, फिर any doubts in this? Let me sip some water, drink some coffee. Any doubts? Ask. ठीक है. If no further doubts, let's go to the big dilemma that you people have, selecting the topic. Okay. Dimensions roughly around, excluding introduction and conclusion, 7 at least. Sometimes least planned last essay comes out better. What may be the cause? You may be like MS Dhoni, who performs under pressure. है ना? Sometimes pressure gets the best out of you. So no proper explanation. Core argument and thesis is the end part of your introduction, right? We'll see that tomorrow. Don't worry. For now, just focus on this. So now we'll move on to the part where causes a lot of dilemma, conflict, time waste, most importantly, selecting the topic. This will be dictated. So this will be dictated. So you can pay attention first and then we will start. So step by step, very simple. First criteria number 1. Your understanding or the clarity with respect to the topic, the core demand of the topic. Have you understood that? That should be the primary criteria. See, section A has 4 topics, section B has 4 topics. Out of those 4 topics, which have you understood the core demand of the topic? If you have understood the core demand of the topic, then you can go ahead with the topic. But let's say in 1, 2, 3, 4 topic number, and then we'll say 5, 6, 7, 8. In topic number 1, 2, 3, 4, you have understood 100% sure that you have understood for 1 and 3. You should be 100% sure. ये जरूरी है. Even 10% doubt, then risk. So let's say 1 and 3 का 100% sure हो कि मतलब you understand the topic. क्योंकि philosophical topics आ रहे हैं. And when it is a philosophical topic, sometimes it's complicated, sometimes it is very straightforward. So if you miss understanding the topic, it will cost you dearly. And the part about that is, now I'll also explain why the scores apart have reduced from 2021 onwards. Very simple, guys. Very simple. पहले आते थे सेक्शन ए में और सेक्शन बी में 4 philosophical topics and other section for technical topics, technical or subject wise topic. And subject wise topic, like, can capitalism bring inclusive growth, artificial intelligence, risk of jobless growth or better job opportunities through upskilling and reskilling, or patriarchy is the least noticed and the most significant structure of social inequality. There is no doubt about not understanding the topic. It is very simple, basic. UPSC, if you are writing UPSC means you have understood the topic, right? So chance of not understanding the topic was almost zero in the technical or the subject wise topics. And even the philosophical topics were relatively easy. You will see now. We'll go for the previous year topics in just a bit. They are also like, courage to accept, dedication to improve are 2 keys to success. Be the change you want to see in the world. Very simple, like, where misinterpretation chance was less. And now topics are hand that rocks the cradle, rules the world. Thinking is like a game. It doesn't begin unless there is an opposing team. All those who wander are not lost. By the way, that topic, all those who wander are not lost, directly came from essay test series. I actually spend a lot of time preparing the question paper. It's a very well researched question paper, but I will admit it. I'm happy to admit it. I got lucky. It's not a stroke of genius or anything. I did the research and and many of my students, see, why I follow this workbook approach is all your class notes, all your tests, if they are at one place, you can revise them in the last moment. You can give it like a structured preparation for your essays, and you will know what major mistake, because you would have taken one-on-one evaluation from me in your full length test. So you will know major mistakes that you are making. You know your major strengths, your major weaknesses. So you can go to the examination hall glancing at those right before or one day before, so that you don't do those mistakes in the examination hall and harness your strength. And that works, trust me. That's why I want all your essays, all your mistakes to be together. And that year, many of the students just they glance and they went, same topic I have. No need to brainstorm, because it's the exact ditto topic. Directly, many of my students came and told, sir, 15 minutes pehle ho gaya, 10 minutes pehle. I was not happy. I was like shocked, because what if they had done some mistake? Khushi mein, in that excitement. But most of them did not, so they got good marks. Last year, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. A similar topic, not exactly, because similar topic I had given in the test series for last year. But you cannot, if the topic is similar, you cannot exactly copy paste that, because core demand में थोड़ा variation हो सकता है. Most of the dimensions will be same, but core demand will not be the same. So remember, if you have written a similar topic before, you simply cannot copy paste it in the exam. Similar topic में dimensions, examples and all can be similar, but not the core demand. And if it's the exact ditto topic, then obviously yes, you can. So coming back to this, you are sure of 2 topics beyond any reasonable doubt. And yeah, before we can continue, again, I was telling about the marks reduction. One is the interpretation. पता नहीं कि interpret कैसे करना है, और narrow interpretation हो रहा है, wrong interpretation हो रहा है. पहले technical topics थे, उसमें तो 0 chance, and philosophical topics were also easy. That's one. And also to write an essay for a technical topics is easy. कोई भी लिख सकता है. It's more like a elaborated GS answer with flow. Write a elaborated GS answer, add a flow, done. Add flow, it's done. you're done there. Because content you are all by-hearted. And remember here, selection of topics in technical topics are very easy. Let's say topic number 1 is about like policy paralysis. Okay, PubAd. Its second is about patriarchy. Third is about artificial intelligence. Fourth is about, can capitalism bring inclusive growth, or some IR related topic. We'll keep it as IR. Ab samjho, if my optional is IR, there is no way on health that I'm even looking at 1, 2, and 3. My topic is decided. 4. If I'm good at science and tech, my topic is decided. And if my option is PubAd, policy paralysis pe main likh raha hu. And if my option is sociology, topic 2 is mine. I'm not even glancing at the other topics. So that is one thing, guys. And actually, that was unfair. Because samjho, your optional is medical science, your optional is literature, your optional is geography, your optional is history. Others are getting little advantage. तुम्हारे optional से कुछ नहीं आ रहा. Anthropology also. So writing essays also is easy, and selection of topic was very natural. Let's say you are from a optional which is not at all related here. So still topic selection is easy. Among the 4 topics, you will see कहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा content you have by-hearted. Which topic where you have by-hearted the most content. And that is your topic which you will write. No need to think, no need to do all this which is there in this slide. Absolutely no need there. You just have to see where you have the most content and just put structure, put flow, done. 2021. Right? This worked till 2020, 2021. And many people used to rely on technical topics. There was like 60 to 65 or 60 to 70 in technical topic. Philosophical topic, 50, 55. Average to above average score guaranteed, done. And that I felt was really unfair, technical topics. And then comes 2021. My last main, and I opened the essay paper. All 8 are all 8 are philosophical topics codes. And they are not like any normal codes. Bhayankar codes. Your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is a awareness of me. It's a single quote. Now, till you decipher the topic, 30 minutes lag jayenge. The real is rational and rational is real. And the rock the cradle rules the world. History repeats itself first as a tragedy, second time as farce. The philosophy of wantlessness is utopian, while materialism is a chimera. Chimera, what does it mean even? And that, now in retrospect, everybody knows. I have And I remember that was the UPSC held the mains examination in between COVID third wave. I was super overjoyed. And लोग I was seeing mask उतार के सर पे हाथ रख के, that was a sadistic pleasure, right? When is my last meal. So after that, that has continued. After that, the trend has continued, and technical topics, I don't think will appear. Purely technical topics like artificial intelligence, patriarchy. It may be a semi philosophical or semi technical, like forests precede civilization and deserts succeed them. That's partly philosophical and partly technical, but I don't think UPSC will go there. But still, we will not take any risk in the tests also, in the class also. A large emphasis will be on philosophical, but still we'll prepare for it. In tests also, I will give you some technical topics where you write and you take feedback. And even in the philosophy, even in the classes, I'll tell you the approach. Approach remains same for both. It's minor nuances and intricacies I'll tell. Okay? Please don't do that. That's called as a pestle approach, socio-political, economic. I'm trying to destroy that. That's not how an essay is written. I'll teach you. Don't worry. That's an outdated approach. Let's come here. Okay. So topic number 1 and come back here. Topic number 1 and 3, you are 100% sure that the clarity you have the understanding. So tie. First one tie ho gaya. You go to the step number 2. Content. You see where you have better content. क्या करना है? 1 minute लगाना है for topic number 1, 1 minute. Topic number 3, 1 minute. Randomly scribble the ideas that are coming. Mini brainstorming. So do that mini brainstorming. 1 minute में ideas, dimensions, क्या आ रहा है scribble करो. Same you do for topic number 3. And where you have the most content, that is the topic that you have to go for. Let's say यहाँ पे भी tie break नहीं हुआ. Both topic you have similar content. Then you go for your interest. You go for the interest. So with respect to the interest part, what is your interest? First is there any similar topic that you may have written before? Is there a topic that you are interested to write? That is it, like kabhi likha hai, or is it something that you can, even if something goes wrong in between, you will be able to manage? So third should be interest. Let's say yahan pe bhi there is a time, like understanding and clarity, content, interest, everything there's a tie. Then the tiebreaker comes in. Very simple gut feeling. Close your eyes for 1 second, think of God and select one topic. Gut feeling jo aa raha hai. 1 bola 1, 3 bola 3. No looking back. Don't even think. Once you have decided in this tiebreaker, if you choose 3, you forget that 1 ever existed. Unless some, like when you actually do the brainstorming, you're stuck somewhere. See, that is also one advantage of brainstorming. Let's say you started you thought you know the topic, you started brainstorming and you're stuck, you can go back to other topics. But if you actually start writing without brainstorming, after 3 pages, you are unable to have any content, then gone again. So tiebreaker is your gut feeling. Close your eyes, select one and don't look back. It will not be needed largely. It will not be needed, but just in case, go for your gut feeling. And then once it is done, start brainstorming the topic that you have picked. Also, at least glance part B topics. At least glance part B topics. Why? Because you don't want to write 2 essays in section A and section B, which may have overlapping dimensions. Something that is very similar. You need to pick 2 different topics. Right? Let's say you had a choice between 1 and 3 here. You chose 1. And you did not glance through part B topics. Let's say in part B, only 5 topics. Question number 5, or the topic number 5 you understand. Remaining 6, 7, 8 you have no idea. And unfortunately, 5 is similar to 1. You will be in a lot of trouble. It's not like they will reduce your marks, but the thing here is both will become like very similar, and that may not fetch you very good marks. It may fetch you average to above average, but good marks is a question mark unless you write it very uniquely and very innovatively. So that is a slight risk, not a major risk, but better to be avoided. So just see. And if you see in the part B, you don't have to make the decision which topic you'll write, but just see. Then when you come after finishing section A, you can come to section B. Or some people start with section B and then go to section A, but glance other sections topics. And you can say, okay, this is a possible topic I can write, and this is also a possible topic I can write. If you have choice, no problem. If you don't have choice, then see 1 and 3 may, if anything is similar to section B topic. If it is similar, please avoid. Okay? So take down the notes here. How to select a topic. How to select a topic. Number 1, or criteria 1 or step 1. Criteria 1 or step 1. You should have 100% clarity and confidence. You should have 100% clarity and confidence about understanding the core demand of the topic. About understanding the core demand of the topic without much doubt. Without much doubt about doing justice to the topic. Without much doubt about doing justice to the topic. Next. Criteria 2 or step 2. If step 1 is applicable to 2 or more topics, if step 1 is applicable to 2 or more topics, then take 60 seconds each for the topics. Then take 60 seconds each for the topics and do rapid brainstorming. Rapid mini brainstorming. Rapid mini brainstorming. Underline 60 seconds. Underline 60 seconds. Rapid brainstorming. And whichever topic has better content, take on especially impactful examples. So how do you judge which topic has better content? Especially impactful examples. Especially impactful examples. Why I'll just tell impactful examples. When you're doing rapid brainstorming, you will not be able to judge the quality of your arguments. Definitely no. 1 minute, come on. But you can actually judge the quality of your examples, because you know which example is unique and which examples is Elon Musk, APJ Abdul Kalam, and Thomas Alva Edison, etc., etc. Okay, so that's why I'm telling examples, because you can think on those lines, because there is no way on earth that you can judge the quality of your arguments in that 1 minute. And whichever has the better quality, that is the topic that you write. Okay. Next, criteria 3 or step 3. Criteria 3 or step 3. If still not selected, then choose the topic that you have more familiarity, which you have more familiarity in writing it before, or the interest in. Step 4. This is the tiebreaker. Step 4 or criteria 4. If still not sure, trust your intuition or gut feeling. If still not sure, trust your intuition or gut feeling. Next, take it as a point only, not as a step, but as a point. Before final selection, at least glance the other section topics, not part B, other section, because some people may start with section B only first. Other section topics. Just glance other section topics. Just to ensure that you don't end up writing similar essays. You don't end up writing similar essays. No, why didn't I keep this glance B part, glance other section topics as a criteria or a step? Very simple. If I keep it as a criteria, you will complicate it. You will overthink. In your head. Is it similar? You'll first only. Let's say I keep it as a second step. Let's say you are 1 and 3. Okay. Next step is glance part B topic for any similarity. Right. So what you will do is 1 and 3. Is it similar to 5? Is it similar to 6? Is it similar to 7? Is it similar to 8? Same with 3. You will get confused and you will lose your head and overcomplicate. Half an hour le loge yahan pe. So that's why I kept it like as a fail safe. First select the topic and then gut feeling ke upar agar wahan tak nahi jayega, but if it goes till there, select the topic and go for glancing B, just to ensure that it is not similar. And then if at all if it's similar, then you go to the other topic. Or complications nahi hogi wahan pe. The last point of what? I'll just summarize. Don't worry. I'll summarize the slide just in a bit. So don't keep it as a criteria, just as this thing. And if in section A you have one idea about only one topic, and in section B you have idea about only one topic again, and both you feel are similar, what should you do? Go and write. That's all. Don't risk it. Yeah, help your friends out. If somebody has missed something, just you can help your friends out there. Yeah, it will save me some time. Collectively, right? We can do it. So as I was saying, if you have just idea about one topic in section A and one topic in section B, and dimensions may overlap, you can't help it. Don't risk it. Just go for those topics. Just to summarize, selection of topic is, I'm scientifically breaking down for you. I'm giving you a roadmap what to do. Pehla, first criteria, the foremost, most important criteria is 100% surety that you have understood the topic. Not just understood, broadly understood. If tie happens, content, mini brainstorming, focusing on examples. Next is interest. If still tie is not resolved, if you have written any similar topics or whatever, still tie is not resolved, वहां तक हो जाएगा. Okay, generally step 1 step 2 में हो जाएगा. Then comes a tie breaker. भगवान का नाम लो and trust your gut feeling. And before you go ahead, at least glance part B's cut up topics. Okay, that's about it. Any doubts? Kindly ask. And we'll start the first class exercises here. So any doubts so far? Okay, no doubts. We will begin with the uh, class exercises. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, I'll just be back in 2 minutes. Take a 2 minute strategic timeout. How to avoid misinterpretation? This is why the exercises we'll do now after that 2 minute strategic timeout. Just 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. Let's begin. So settle down. Open your workbook for page number. This page number 7. Okay. So open your workbooks for page number 7. So we'll be starting off with the exercises, and here we will be working on. There are in the workbook I've given 4 things: interpretation 1, nature of the topic 2, and the keywords. Right, and then there is a 4th one, unique dimension. Today we'll be working on the first 3 things. Unique dimension in the last or the penultimate class. Okay, why? Because this is the basic. Uniqueness is the end stage. Okay, first let me fill your beautiful heads with the basics first. Uniqueness will come back to this topic. Now, the first is the interpretation of the topic. Interpretation of the topic is with respect to the first aspect of the essay. Candidates are expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. Nature of the topic is to see argumentative, completely analytical, partly argumentative and partly analytical, largely analytical and very slightly argumentative, right? And those things, because any topic is a descriptive topic. And the keywords based on the topic given, there can be a few keywords that we will generate. Okay, so what we will do is I'll give you the sample. Okay, morning we went chronologically. So this is topics are arranged chronologically, year by year. But the thing is, as I told you earlier, philosophical topics were easy, and morning we wasted a lot of time on the easy topics. So we'll start off first 2 to 3 topics, easy ones, and then we'll go and come back reverse. Okay, so that no point spending time on easy topics. We'll go reverse. Yes, these are all previous year topics. All the philosophical topics, the previous year topics. Okay, so we'll begin with the exercises. So interpretation, nature of the topic, what type of approach you have to take, and then the keywords. And in the keywords, okay, first let me take a topic. We'll start with a very easy one. Okay, the first topic that is given: be the change you want to see in others. Mahatma Gandhi's quotes. Now, what is the interpretation of this topic? Can anybody unmute yourself and tell or type it out? What do you think is the interpretation of this topic? Be the change you want to see in others.
So that before you want to see the changes that you want, you first change yourself. That's the first step.
Okay, so title change begin with us, lead by example.
Start by transforming yourself first.
Start by transforming yourself first. Leadership.
So you want to see in others can be interpreted as the ideals where like how things should be, where things should go, and be the change that stand for. Take the initiative for the ideals where you want to, like what should be.
Okay. So
First, you want
largely
to
simple,
change
huh?
your
Topic. Okay.
internal environment and external environment.
Yes. So this talks about very simple thing, as you all rightly interpreted it. Take initiative to bring change. Your personal initiative, your personal responsibility. Okay. And now, if I tell be the change you want to see in the world, what will be the keywords that will come to your mind? You can just type it out. Keywords: persuasion. Okay. Fast type. Inspire others. Very good. Change is already there. Apart from change, lead by action.
Individual empowerment.
Self introspection. Good. Role model. Fire. Shoot. I want to prove a point here. So don't forget to write it down in your workbook. Okay, यहाँ type करने के चक्कर में don't forget to write it down. Emotional intelligence, yes, emotional intelligence is needed. So vision and leadership, bandwagon effect, discipline. World is a family. Start with us. Just keywords. One word I want. Better world, leadership. Okay. We'll stop this. Enough. Now, whatever these people have told here, right? I think everybody can see the chat box. Everything fits within the scope of the topic. There's not a one word that is like, outside the scope of the topic. So, okay? So most of it. Now, there are two things. One that perfectly aligns with the scope of the topic. The second type of thing is largely aligns with the scope of the topic. Perfectly aligns and largely aligns. Matlab, both are in the scope of the topic. One is perfectly fitting. Okay, so I'll tell you which are the perfectly fitting keywords. Okay, and both are needed. Both are needed for different purposes. So we have brainstorming. Okay, so let me go to the start. Oh my god, so many ones. Leadership. Okay, perfectly fits. Lead by example, same thing again. Don't preach, lead by action, same thing. Inspiration, perfectly fits. Persuasion, largely fits. It does not perfectly fits. Role model, perfectly fits. Role model perfectly fits. Motivation, somewhat fits. Emotional intelligence, largely fits. Discipline, largely fits. Accountability, largely fits. And all of you together could not think of be the change you want to see in this world, right? Be the change you want to see in this world. You missed out one thing. One is proactiveness. So be the change means be proactive to bring about that change. I'm sad that nobody thought about take initiative. After I tell you, you cannot rephrase that. Na? So be proactive in thinking. So coming to the point. Now keywords, all are valid. So the ones which fit perfectly, you can use them in your core argument because it's are like perfect fitting words. And the ones that largely fit, you can use it in the body. As simple as that. Try generate some keywords. Use them, which fits perfectly. You can use it in your core argument or both. Introduction, intro plus core argument, you can call it. And also you can use it in the conclusion because you will have multiple words and remaining everything that you can use as in the body. All right. So this is with respect to those keywords. So perfect fitting ones have to be used in the intro or the core argument or the conclusion. Largely fitting ones, use it in the body. You will develop that self-awareness of which is perfectly fitting while continuously taking feedback from me in the one-on-one sessions and also here today. Okay. What is the nature of this topic? Analytical, argumentative, partly analytical, partly argumentative. So the nature of the topic is very simple. It's largely analytical, but some part of it is largely analytical, but some part of it we can counter it. Right? Largely analytical, but some part of it can be countered. So just take down in the nature of the topic section, largely analytical, but partly, very, very less, partly argumentative. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Words are sharper than the two-edged sword. So shoot your interpretation of the topic. Words are sharper than the two-edged sword. Oh, the next one is sorry, I missed one topic. With greater power comes greater responsibility. Spider-Man wala quote, modified Spider-Man wala quote. With the greater power comes greater responsibility. Yeah, shoot your analysis. Don't first interpretation of the topic in a statement and then the keywords. Directly don't jump to keywords because interpretation is more important here. Effective use of power. Okay. To use power with caution. Good. Power and responsibilities are complementary. Okay. Power as a double-edged sword. That's what the topic is telling. Responsible leadership. Okay. Enough. Seen enough here. Apart from one person, nobody got to the because This is a very simple quote. Everybody understood the quote. But with respect to decipherence, not everybody deciphered it very holistically. Some people narrowly, some people little outside the scope. So with greater power comes greater responsibility, means whatever the power may have, we may have authority, we may have money, whatever the power is broadly interpreted as that, all come with ethical obligations, ethical restrictions. So that is the topic. It's not just about responsibility. Responsibility can be broadly interpreted into the keywords which will shoot from GS4 now: accountability, transparency, duty. You already shot it. So I know. So the key crux of this topic is very simple. When you have power, when you have fame, when you have wealth, when you have authority, it always comes with ethical obligations, large ethical obligations. Keywords, so you already shot, okay, and very simple keywords for this, all your GS4 wala. So what is the nature of the topic? Is it argumentative, analytical? What is it? What's the nature? Yeah, it's 50-50, partly analytical and partly argumentative, because you can tell, right? You can easily counter this topic. Okay, 50-50. All right. So keyword, so it's done. Let's go for the next one. Words are sharper than the two-edged sword. Quickly. Words are sharper than the two-edged sword. Interpretation batao jaldi iska. Broad interpretation, not narrow. Actions should be thoughtful. See, actions should be thoughtful. You're again misinterpreting or narrowly interpreting the topic. Literally, it's saying words. Ethical communication, very intimate relationship between the sender and receiver of words. What is that? Power of pen, importance of words, can make deals and also have conflicts. Power of thoughts. Words having dual role. That is what I was looking for. So words are by themselves very powerful to do good as well as bad. Many people narrowly interpret as bad. Words can do damage because they'll see the word sword, and when they see that, the sword is there, we have to interpret that it destroys it. No. Words are very powerful and they can be used to construct, they can be used to destruct, they can be used to build, they can be used to destroy. Words can be used to do good, words can be used to do bad. And that thing is the crux of this topic. Spam me with the keywords fast. Keywords. And I hope you're taking down in the workbook, because after this will just be a recording. Responsibility, okay. Prudence, okay, perfectly fits. Power of speech, self-awareness, largely fits. Wisdom, largely fits. Temperance, perfectly fits. Emotional intelligence, largely fits. Self-restraint, perfectly fits. Responsibility, perfectly fits. Mediation and diplomacy, perfectly fits. One thing that I'm not seeing here is sensitivity. Sensitivity, right? So that is one thing that also perfectly fits. And one more, a major thing I forgot: consequences. Both positive and negative consequences. It's a perfectly fitting word here. Okay, so now we are warmed up. We did this together. Now we'll start with the first class exercise. So in the next page, you see 3 more topics on page 8, right? Lending hands to someone is better than giving a dole. Quick but steady wins the race. Character of an institution is reflected in its leader. Right? I'll give you 5 minutes, and for all the 3 topics, do the interpretation, nature of topics, and keywords. Before that, what is the nature of this topic? Words are double powerful, sharper than the two-edged sword. Very simple. 50-50, partly analytical and partly argumentative. Okay, yes, 50-50. Okay, so ready? 5 minutes. I'll set the timer. Finish for all the 3 topics: interpretation, nature of topics, and keywords. And then we'll briefly discuss, and then go to the last. Okay, and then go in reverse. This is just the warm up. Okay, time starts now. All right, time up. Start writing. Sorry, stop writing. All right, time up. Okay, so let's start the discussion. Right, since it will take too much time, I will only discuss. Anybody wants to add their own 2 cents, you can add. Right, just keep looking at a workbook. The first one, right, lending hands to someone is better than giving a dole. I think straightforward topic, right? It's better to empower people, societies, and communities than giving something as a charity. And I think the keywords empowerment, self-realization, compassion, right, empathy, sympathy, right, inspiring. So all those are the major keywords, and including mentorship will also come, right? Mentorship is also there here. Lending hands to someone is better than giving a door. And actually, in a way, it is my style of mentorship. I believe in teaching you people how to fish rather than feeding you a fish. I can easily give the content. Some people do it, right? So they'll just prepare you for content. like हाँ happiness आएगा ये लिखो, leadership आएगा ये लिखो. It simply does not work anymore. Yes, for technical topics, artificial intelligence, poverty and all, बैठ करके गए ठीक है, it would work. But for philosophical topics, though you may have prepared for the value, but value will come in conjunction with other. So values may be same, but the core meaning changes. You may, obviously, it's better to go prepared with examples and everything, but you should be have that skill to apply. So my style of mentorship is I'll teach you, have ready-made content, but how to apply, that is needed. So that's mentorship, and mentorship is applied in this topic. Lending hand to someone is better than giving a dole, and it is 70% analytical, 25 to 30% argumentative, because we can still argue in this topic. Yes, that's empowerment, right? Giving resources with a sense of responsibility. Yes. So going to the next topic, quick but steady wins the race. Before I can tell you, I'll teach you a technique here. Now, whenever, see here in this thing, there are two values, quick but steady. Two values. Sometimes they go together, sometimes they go contrasting to each other. So here, quick but steady or quick and steady wins the race. These are going together. Whenever, or I would not say 100%, 80% of the time when there are two complementary values, like here, quick and steady. And when next set of values comes, I'll teach you. It's all, the core meaning is about balance between those two values. 80% of the time this works. So the core meaning here, quick and steady wins the race, means the balance between consistency and speed, balance between consistency and efficiency. So quick and steady, the core meaning here is, if you want to be successful in life, you need a proper balance between consistency and efficiency. That's the thing here. And we will apply this technique to others, where there is a balance between contrasting or sometimes even similar values. Keywords, I think very easy: perseverance, hard work, consistency, status quo, stability, efficiency, pay, blah, 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 right? Nature of the topic, same like previous one, largely analytical, but also you can develop arguments and counter arguments as well. You can counter this topic actually. All right, so that is one more thing. Yeah, strategy also fits, but not a perfect fit. Let's go to the next one. Very easy topic. Character of an institution is reflected in its leader. Very simple. An organization's culture is the mirror image of the leader's character. इसमें कुछ decipher करने वाली बात ही नहीं है. And all the leadership, organizational behavior, organizational ethics, integrity, value, morality, sustainability, influence. I know. Probity, integrity. Okay, so that will come here, and it's largely analytical. I don't think you can debate this, that character of an institution. Probably in a paragraph we can tell that not always, but apart from that, you cannot debate this. Right? You cannot debate this. So it's an analytical topic. Yes, institution does not means this thing, but the core aspect is an institution or an organization. So you can interpret it as start with the institution, literal institution, and then you can bring in family, society, countries, a lot of things. Character of an institution, character of a family is reflected in the head of the family. Character of a society is reflected in leader, political party, leader. Okay, keep interpretation broadly. Yes, Chirag?
So it can be argumentative also, right? If institutions are so strong and governed by the constitution, irrespective of who's the leader, who's in charge, it will run excellently.
Yeah, so but that is a rarity. But so what I say is just one paragraph or probably two paragraphs. You cannot make it largely argumentative. You cannot make, or even to a great extent you cannot make it. So probably one paragraph, very minorly.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go reverse now. Directly jump to page number. What is this? Page number. Page number 22. Okay, so page number 22. 29 mein all after this, these are all technical topics or subject wise topics. That is all homework, technical topics or subject wise topic. Right, we'll just do one or two here and remaining things are homework. Discipline of an individual reflecting in the discipline of the organization, you can write. Yes, you can. Okay, so let's begin. Last one is a technical topic. Patriarchy is the least noticed, it's more significant structure. So go with the penultimate one. All right. Okay, so I will do a couple and then we will do the exercises. Since it's tough one, I will just sort of warm you up, and then I will not give you a dole. Right? I'll just lend you my brain. All right. So I'll just lend you my brain. So you can work on that. So the topic here is, where is that? Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in the school. So tell me the interpretation of this topic. Now that you are all in Josh, now let's see the Josh. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Page number 22. Education purpose is to build values, narrow interpretation, level of value inculcation, narrow interpretation. Education is not just curriculum, decent interpretation. Importance of learning values, not just school, narrow. Wisdom over memory, narrow. Not rote learning. Generation of curiosity, slightly better, but okay, but not very broad. Yeah, there was one. As Ritik says, just not just the theoretical things that we learn in school, but it is the values, practical aspect, and that actually help in life. So I'll teach you a technique here, like ऐसा topic में अगर लिखना है तो क्या करना चाहिए, if at all you are writing. So education is what remains after what has forgotten in your school. What one has learned in, what one has forgotten, what one has learned in school. So what do? Just think. I think all of you have passed school. So, and most of you have forgotten what you learned in school, especially all that stupid algebra, trigonometry, all that, integration, differentiation, right? Unless your option is mathematics, I think you're all forgotten. Most of the things that we have studied in school, we have forgotten. But is there other things that we remember what we learned in school. Apart from values तो सबको पता है. Let's say we picked up punctuality, that's a value. ठीक है. Hard work, perseverance, discipline. So values is one thing which everybody knows, but there are other things that you may have picked up in school that remains till date. What is it? Critical thinking skills. जैसे टीचर ने सिखा दिया कि मतलब हाँ, everything you have to see pros and cons. Critical thinking skills, vocational skills. Let's say you learned painting in school, you learned to play football in school, you learned to sing in school. वो तो कभी नहीं बोलोगे मरते दम तक. It's also a thing that you learned in school and have not forgotten. Right? So these things, it's not just about values. If you keep this, many people who scored less in 2023, it's because they just made it about values: punctuality, discipline, hard work, perseverance, emotional intelligence. तो डालना ही है वहाँ पे, है ना? So they got less when they attempted like this. But keep it broad. Character building, social capital, what Abhijit tells, it's an actually unique dimension. The school friends are the best friends, and a lot of things, they remain. They teach you. Your school friends teach you a lot. They are your true friends actually. So got it? Keywords तो सारे मैंने बता दिए अभी, है ना? And the nature of the topic, partly argumentative and partly analytical. So both 50-50. All right, let's go to one more. Society that has more justice is a society that needs less charity. काफी straightforward है. I'll take a little bit of a difficult topic. This one you can now, yeah, one more thing. There's a lesson here. Now let's say in section A you had the topic lending hands is better than handing out a dole, and section B में ये topic है a society. I know these are from different years. I'm just teaching you. A society that has more justice is a society that needs less charity. Please don't select dole from section A and this charity from section B. Varna, both essays will become almost similar. So that is one trap that you may fall. Okay, so this is almost dimensions will overlap. So charity, dole is nothing but charity. So ensure that. Okay. So this you can do it as a homework. ये करता है. Mathematics is the music of reasons. भयंकर topic है. And after, see, first of all, it's a difficult topic. And I did so much research on this topic. Yet I'm still not sure. Like, every time I, talk about this topic, I'm still not sure whether have I understood the topic or not. बहुत भयंकर topic है. Let me just see your interpretation of this topic. Mathematics is the music of reasons. What's your interpretation? Waiting quickly. आप तक तो स्पैम हो जाना चाहिए था, क्या हुआ? Welcome to post 2021 UPSC essay topics. Nobody. First of all, अगर ऐसा टॉपिक दिखे तो just say thank you for appearing and I will not be writing it. Don't even read it again, because it's very difficult to do justice to this topic. Even if your option is mathematics, ego pe mat lo, just say thank you. You made my choice easier. That is, you are the type of topic which I will not be attempting. So first, there will be always some topics जिसको देख के thank you for appearing and making my choice easier and चले जाना है. So this is one such topic. But somebody at least mention What is your interpretation? Are you guys able to hear me? Okay, I thought like connection का issue हो गया क्या? Okay, great. If you are able to hear me, please answer. अब तक तो non-stop spam हो रहा था. Now you realize why the HS scores have decreased. Topics are not not all four are like this, but yes, there will be subtleties that you may miss. Like for example, the education topic, if you make it all about values, narrowly interpreted topic, best case scenario is average marks. Mathematics is the music of reason. How do you make heads or tails out of it? And generally, like see, I don't want you to get scared, but generally, जो छोटे टॉपिक होते हैं ना, बहुत खतरनाक टॉपिक होते हैं. Mathematics is the music of reasons. Joy is the simplest form of gratitude. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. But don't make a mental block कि छोटा दिखा तो भयंकर होगा. Sometimes yes, sometimes very straightforward. Like wisdom finds truth. That is a very simple topic. So don't worry. So mathematics is the music of reason. So my approach, I will tell you, please don't attempt it. Even if I was there, I would not have attempted it. So the thing here is there are two keywords here, mathematics and reason. So if you can see, there are two keywords, mathematics and reason. And and the analogy here is music. So music is not exactly a keyword, it's an analogy. So you have to start from reason and then go towards mathematics by giving analogy of music. So when I say music, now at least now you can spam. What are the things that come to your mind? Music. Apart from Arijit Singh, don't tell me singer's name. With respect to music, from an art and culture point of view, yes, one, right? So what are the things that come to your mind when I say music? Yeah, what are the major components of music? Yes, creativity, rhythmic, emotions, harmony, melody. So pick those keywords: melody, harmony, rhythm, creativity. And when you apply rhythm, harmony, creativity to music, the end product is mathematics. Stupid subject, horrible subject, end product is mathematics. You start from reason and you apply those aspects of harmony. If you remember, there is, I think, which one? I cannot recall at this point of time. Some form of Hindustani music where repetition happens. Repetition. So Fibonacci series, you can link reason and the music of repetition, and that you get into Fibonacci series. Okay, so this is about Saptaswaras, yes. So this is the topic. Let's go to the now we'll start with the exercises. Now I've warmed you up. So go to page 21, right? This is yes. Page 21. We'll do two pages together. इसमें दो टॉपिक है. Page 20 में तीन टॉपिक है. Right? 5 topics and 6 minutes. 5 topics and 7 minutes. Okay, so starting we will do 7 minutes. So time starts now. 7 minutes and 5 topics on page number 21 and 20. Quickly. Last 2 minutes. Hurry up. All right, stop writing. Time up. Stop writing. All right, let's start the interpretation of girls are weighed down by restrictions, boys with demands to equally harmful discipline. Before, it's a straightforward interpretation. There is nothing extraordinary about this. But before we go to the interpretation, I would like to make a point that many people who wrote this essay got little less marks, not because they did not understood the topic, because they did not balance it well. They made it like a woman-centric topic. See, I'm already getting keywords, gender equality. Yes, gender equality is there. But many people just made it women-centric. The restrictions on restrictions on girls. And did not bring boys with demands part. And that affecting their scores. So, large interpretation of the topic is very simple. Women are restricted by the various societal norms, and men are restricted by expectations from the society. Also, it's a both analytical as well as an argumentative topic. Definitely analytical and argumentative topic. You can argue that girls also face expectations, because restrictions on the boys are not much. We boys have it easy, aram se, hardly any restrictions. But girls have to face the double whammy of both restrictions as well as expectations. So that is something, that is something, that you have to go ahead. And keywords for all the society, social justice, okay, so that you know. Let's go to the next topic. Inspiration for creativity springs from the effort to look for magical in the mundane. Interpretation. What is it? Inspiration for creativity springs when we look for magical in the mundane. Power of observation. Okay, small moments make up our life for magical moments. Okay, expecting results without effects, no wrong interpretation. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Don't give me one more previous year topic. But also simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. It's a narrow interpretation. Ability to see opportunity, adversity, narrow. Critical synthesis power, narrow. All right. Some of you got it right. Let me tell you. Inspiration for creativity springs for finding magical in mundane. If you remember, this Shah Rukh Anushka's Shah Rukh's movie, Anushka's debut, Rab ne bana di jodi. There was a tagline. There is an extraordinary love story in every ordinary jodi. Right? That's basically this. But the thing here is you need to observe. So extraordinary, right? Magical stuff, amazing stuff will just be lying around somewhere among the ordinary stuff. You just need that observation to find it. So that's where the inspiration for creativity happens. When you find extraordinary within the ordinary, and that is what happens. In ordinary, you start taking ordinary and finding the extraordinary aspects about that. All right. So very simple. Okay. And not all those who wander are lost. Yes, mundane with reputation can be a dimension. Sure. In the body. Yeah. Next one. Not all who wander are lost. My favorite topic because it came from essay tests. Exploration. Sorry. Keywords. Expression is essential aspect of being human. Narrow. Life is created as per choices, exploration, self-discovery, mindful exploration of life with optimism. Lesser taken paths can yield fruits. Something I like. Lesser taken paths can yield fruits. Failure is not equal to loser. Well-rounded personality. Guys, it's my double shift. You're making me sleepy. Apart from a couple of you, it's a simple topic, yeah. Sometimes what is simple is not that so simple. Yeah, what you see is not the reality always. It's a fine interpretation, but let me tell you the actual or a proper interpretation. So not all who wander are lost means if somebody is deviating from the norm, somebody is deviating from the established standards, doesn't mean that they are doing wrong or they're going to fail. They may be doing something creative, they may be trying to bring about a change, and they may be doing something extraordinary also. So the topic is very simple. Just because you are going little outside the norm, just you are trying something that is not the fundamental approach, it doesn't mean that it is a narrow approach. Very simple. Keep it simple, guys. Okay, don't complicate it. Yeah, next one. Visionary decision making happens at the intersection of intuition and logic. Visionary decision making happens at the intersection of intuition and logic. Remember the technique I taught you? Whenever there are two values, yes, beautiful. Balance between. If you have to put it as a mathematical formula, visionary decision making or success is equal to intuition plus logic. Intuition can be your gut feeling. Intuition can be a divine intervention. Intuition can be literal intuition. And logic can be rational thinking, literal logic, empiricism, scientific thinking. Or faith can also be considered as intuition. Faith can also be considered a literal data driven. Very simple. So this thing. And remember, this technique works for 80% of the cases. It's not 100%. Okay? So remember, one thing I'm trying to teach you right at the outset is one size does not fit all. Okay? Don't be blind. Don't suffer. Okay? So I want your SS scores to improve. Don't make blunders. Okay? Let's go to the next one. इसमें भी बहुत लोग सफर हुए थे. Thinking is like a game. It does not begin unless there is an opposite theme. So tell me. Bolo. Thinking is a product of competition between ideas. Very simple. Go to the start of our session today. Pull up three types of essays, argumentative type of essays. Very simple. Thinking is very simple. Argument, counter argument. As simple as that. No complications. If you have learned argumentative style of essay writing, this is what you are doing. Thinking is like a game. Unless there is a counter thought or counter argument or antithesis, effective thinking does not happen. Effective thinking does not happen. Unless there are challenges, there will be no solutions. Can be one dimension in the body, but not the soul dimension. Balance thesis, antithesis leading to synthesis. Yes, perfect. Dialectics and dissent for innovation can be a dimension in the body, not the soul dimension. So, and the nature of topic is largely analytical, but partly argumentative also. Largely analytical, but partly argumentative as well. Okay, remember that. Don't forget. Because you can say that you don't need a counter thought. You can go with a one thought. See, always go for a broad interpretation. Start with the literal one, and then go to the other aspects. Okay, next 2 pages. Now 6 minutes. Page number
So
9.
could you repeat the interpretation for this thinking?
This topic is it? Thinking
Yeah.
is the game. Okay. So our thinking process does not happen by itself. It needs a counter thought, a counter argument, a counter idea. I have a thought, and then I have a counter thought. Then I have a thought for again, and then a counter thought. And that's where the collision between thoughts and the counter thoughts, arguments and counter arguments, that results in thinking, the process of thinking.
All right, sir. Also, in the demands section, you mentioned that people did not address that. Could you quickly say what are these aspects of boys we should be highlighting in that essay?
Yeah, the expectations, girls with restrictions
Yes,
and boys
boys
with,
with demands. How? What
equally.
is the second part broadly?
Now, a man, first thing, a man is expected not to cry. That's the basic thing. A man is not expected to seek therapy. A man is expected to be the sole breadwinner. A man is expected to do his daughter's. I'm brainstorming various dimensions quickly here. A man is expected to throw a lavish parties in their children's wedding. A man is not allowed to grieve. A man is expected to do certain roles and responsibilities. He has to do as a child, as a sibling, as a husband, as a father, and it's largely. And man is expected to be the natural leader of the family. Patriarchy, that is. So that is there are expectations that cause a lot of problems for men. Man is expected to be better than the others, that is better than the females. And the moment the person is not, they are not respected. A man is expected to treat their wife with patriarchal notions. The moment he respects equality, he loses respect in the society. A man is expected to earn more than his wife by nature. अरे कितनों की शादी नहीं होती है लोग, like I have my own people, own close students, close family, because the girl is earning more than the boy, they're telling no. Because the girl is an officer and this guy is in corporate, they are like no. Because they expect the man to earn better than the girl. In one situation, I actually asked, like, okay, let's say today your kid is earning more than the girl. समझो 5 साल बाद बेटी की नौकरी चली गई एंड बहू को डबल प्रमोशन मिल गया, तब क्या करोगे? This superficial, this is what expectations. So let's come back here. Okay, we have more topics to finish and I'm super tired. इस डबल शिफ्ट का कुछ करूंगा कल, ठीक है. Okay, next 2 pages, page number 19 and page number 18. 6 minutes, guys. All right, 6 minutes. Start. All right, time up. So let's start. Yeah, just because you have a choice, it does not mean any of them have to be right. Yeah, interpretation, guys. Out of the box. Okay, one way of interpreting that. Yeah. Best to reflect before act. Very good way of interpreting that. Creating opportunity is one way. Availability of choice does not lead to better result. That's a restatement of topic itself. Sometimes be neutral. ठीक है. There are always hidden choices that we don't see. Yes. Now, for example, this topic is basically telling none of the above can also be a right option. Just because you have 3 options or 4 options doesn't mean that is the right option. You may have missed the right option. You may have not seen the right option, or you are not at all explored the option. So if you go for that choice, doesn't mean it is necessarily the right choice. Yes, Nota. Creating your own rightful path. And not just that, one more thing is, and hence you need critical thinking to determine which is the right choice. That also you need to add. This is a little trickier topic. It's not explicit. It's not explicitly mentioned in the topic, but you need critical thinking ability to determine the right choice. Okay. So next one. A smile is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. A smile is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. Optimism. It's very simple. Whenever you don't know what to do, just smile. Whenever you don't know what to do, you smile. But that is not the interpretation of the topic here. Actually, this is a slightly complicated topic. This, what I just told you, whenever you don't know what to do, just smile, can be a narrow interpretation. Why? Because smile is a chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. Means when a person is going through an ambiguous situation, uncertain situation, he's smiling. Just because he's smiling does not mean he's happy or positive. He may have given up and then he may be laughing with the despair. Like, prelims का result देखा, CSAT में fail है, like, क्या ही करेंगे, right? Or person may be super stressed and yet smiling. So, if in an ambiguous situation, if a person is smiling, that is not the truest expression. Because generally in challenging situations or ambiguous situations, we put on a mask, put on a facade. That is the proper interpretation. Exact interpretation. What I told, when you don't know what to do, smile is a narrow interpretation. Okay? So, complicated topic, right? So, if you don't understand it, a riskier topic, better not to. Next is very easy. You cannot step twice in the same river. You cannot step twice in the same river. Okay? Oh, as usual, change is the only constant and irreversible. Everything is unique. Every moment. Last moment was different. This moment is different. Last year was different. This year is different. Yes. पता है मेरे को, तुमको आएगा. Okay. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Very simple. Preventive action or proactive action taken in good times will help you in the moments of crisis. Preparedness, foresightedness. Yes. Preventive action. Yes. बहुत easy. I know. Don't spam. And next is a ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what is a ship is for. Very simple. Growth happens outside of comfort zone. Yeah. Growth happens outside of comfort zone. उसको छोड़ के चले जाओ. Yeah. History is a series of victories won by romantic man over the scientific man. बताओ, अब बताओ. Logic wins over emotions. Yes. Logic over emotions. Logic, empiricism, critical analysis over. And this is partly argumentative, partly analytical. You can also tell that romantic man also can have victories over scientific man. But one thing here. See, there is a word called history. So you have to link the battle or the conflict between scientific man and romantic man with historical events. That is one thing. Right, since ancient times up till present times. And actually, uh, what will be a very good dimension for this essay? Probably in the body. I'm not sure if it will be very good in the introduction as a hook. Will be the clash that is recently happening between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, scientific man and the emotional, romantic man. Right? So still, we don't know who will win this clash between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful president. But it's actually a very good example. If at all, if I had to write an essay, this somewhere I would have probably started that with that anecdote or some body में तो probably मैं लेके आता हूँ. See, this is how you sort of create an impression on the examiner. Like you have to make it relatable. Essay को relatable बनाना पड़ेगा. And then they will be like, हाँ क्या बात है, चलो थोड़ा और marks ले लो. Yeah, we'll go to the next topic. Poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. अब बताओ. It's poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. Romanticism wins? Nope. Emotions shape perspective of the society. One way of looking at it. Freedom of speech and expression leads to change. Power of ideas. Poets shape narratives. Yes, that is one thing. But one mistake you people are doing. I'm still not satisfied. Let's see if somebody can make it. It's still adhura, sir. Let's see if somebody can complete it. Hidden ideas. Yes. So poets impact society, impact constitution, impact laws, but they do so while remaining very subtle. They'll write some, like for example, the French revolutionary thinkers wrote satire. Some people write cartoons. Some people write poetry. Some people write stories. Animal Farm by George Orwell. It talks about a totalitarian state. But that can lead to change. That can lead to laws. That can lead. But they do so very subtly, very hidden way, very cryptically. And that, if you don't focus on the hidden, subtle, and cryptic part, then narrow interpretation ho jayega. Like the theory of separation of powers was given by Enlightenment thinkers, Montesquieu and all. They were not any politicians or anything. They were philosophers. And see the impact it had. How can we decipher the cryptic part here? It requires practice, guys. That's why the session is about. Now, little bit more. Once we are done, we'll take other topics for tomorrow's session, and then in SAH tests, in our one-on-one sessions. So practice se aata hai. Practice makes a person perfect. So no other way. And you need to have a sharp, keen sense of observation, proper observation. Like yesterday, if you remember the topic, first like, first embrace the humility of the right. If you want to shine like a star, first embrace. So if you miss the first, then slightly narrow ho jayega. Roof wala topic, the best time to repair the roof is when sun is shining. That means that preparedness, proactiveness, readiness in good times will lead to less damage during the times of crisis. Yes, poets, you have to interpret it as broadly. Poets, matlab not literal poets. Poets, writers, philosophers, thinkers, artists, broadली रखो. वरना कितने poets को जानते हो आप? 4, 5. It'll become very unidimensional. But just while expressing, sprinkle the words poet here and there. Like for example, I'm introducing like some artist, some cartoon artist. I can tell not only poets, but artistic, like visual artists are no less than the poet also. It's all about how you write. That will work. Okay. Come on, a couple more minutes and we'll finish this session off. We'll do a few more topics, discuss that. And when the easy topic starts, easy topics are for your homework. See, when the not exactly greater damage, even minor cracks can be repeated, right? When if the damage is major, and the damage is major, you have to rebuild. You cannot repair. So that's about it. Okay, few more topics and then we'll easy topics homework कर लो आप, ठीक है? आज ही करना है, ठीक है? Don't leave your workbook empty because I've seen जब homework देता है तो वो part empty रहता है. So let's go. Paris are the best case studies for economic excellence. Yeah, how do you? So interpretation is very easy. How do you justify this topic? Forests are the best case studies of economic excellence. Fast. Competition, predation, mutualism. So how do you go about this topic? Is first see what are the parameters of economic excellence: equity, sustainable development, resource allocation, resource utilization, efficiency, the regrowth after a setback, circular economy. Then link it to forest. Circular economy can be linked to carbon sequestration. Right? Resource allocation can be linked to food chain, food web. Right? After forest fires, regrowth can be linked to economy recovering after cycles of bust or cycles of slowdowns. Simple. The inclusive growth can be included where all animals are living there in the forest. So very easy topic. Next one is also relatively easy because we are going farther. So there are better practices to best practices. What does it mean? There are better practices to best practices. Come on, quickly, jaldi. Continuous improvement, philosophy of essay edge, constant improvement. There is nothing called as best. Always keep on improving, never settle. Yes, 1 plus. 21. Okay, 21 करके खत्म करते हैं session. Yeah, history repeat itself first as tragedy, second as farce. Yes. What does this mean? History repeat itself first as tragedy, second as farce. Learn from mistake is a narrow interpretation. Learning. History laughs at you if you don't. Again, narrow interpretation. I'll give an example. Okay. Let's say you wrote your first mains essay. You did not write a single essay before. You don't know structuring. You didn't know anything. They poor marks. Okay. Next year you went, you repeated the same mistake. You did not study essay well, and then you paid dearly. The history repeated itself as a tragedy again. Again, you did not clear. From, like, let's say if I was mentoring you, I would have told in the second attempt, why did you do yaar? Like, already you were bitten once. देखो tragedy हो गया. Third attempt पे भी आपने यही किया. I laugh at you because you are repeating so much that you are foolish now. You are stupid. The like second as a farce. The word second as a farce. It's not literal second. First it became as a tragedy. उसके बाद वो tragedy है ही. But the thing here is you are repeating the same mistake so much and so much again. It becomes a comedy. That is the crux of the topic. That is the crux of the topic, boss. Here. Exactly. सब लोग. Not just second time. Then onwards, any time, any n number of times you do, it's comedy. Like, कितने बार करेगा same mistake over and over again? It becomes a laughing stock. You become a meme. Yeah. And this was the last ever essay I wrote in 75 minutes. And that became my inspiration for trial by combat test this year. History. Repeat itself first as a tragedy and second as a farce. Let's go to the next one. What is research but a blind date with the knowledge? What is research but a blind date with knowledge? Batao. Experiment is important. Yes. Continuous iterations. Rather than that, search in unknown domain will be better. Trial and error. Trial and error. You actually don't know. When you're researching, you don't know the outcome, right? So you have set of data, set of facts, and set of things, and then you just do some trial and error, and then yeah, voila, eureka. Yeah, magic in mundane, right? So if let's say section A में ये topic है, section B में magic and mundane है, तो दोनों को नहीं लिखना है. Yeah, accidental inventions also, like penicillin, right? दोनों को नहीं लिखना है साथ में. Okay, that also you have to keep in mind. ठीक है, चलो और एक. Hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. I have already told you about that, the mistake I almost made. So I'll just be very simple. It shows the importance of early upbringing in shaping the destiny of children or societies or individual. Early upbringing. It can be parents, it can be teachers, it can be the education system, anything. I mean, early if you shape them, they end up being successful, end up being great. So rules the world is not literal rule, successful or doing some ground-breaking, path-breaking work. And now I am thankful that I did not write the topic. On a full women empowerment I would have done, and I would have disempowered my essay score. Okay, next. This was the topic I wrote in section A. The real is rational and rational is real. So what exactly do you mean by the topic? Real is rational and rational is real. Balance between reality and rationality, not a proper interpretation. Unfoldment of reality through logic, narrow. What is real can be perceived by our senses and hence rational, and what is logical reality. Everything is an illusion, just depend on how you take it. Please don't interpret that way. Everything is sab moh maya hai, mat karo. Please interpret properly. What seems logical can be shaped into reality in future. Everything we see is backed by rationality. So you're rephrasing the topic. Nobody is dealing with the crux. Okay, let me weigh in. You guys are struggling here. So now first we'll go with real is rational. My interpretation. Real is rational means we have reality, right? This online session that we are having is a reality, and it is being done through internet, through the various digital devices. This is the reality, and this reality can be explained logically. Now, why are you guys able to see me sitting at your homes or in your libraries across the country is technology works. Internet is, I am speaking in front of a camera, there's a mic, and it's connected to internet, satellites are working, and that is the logic, how it is working. So, real, whatever is real in our things can be explained logically. Okay? Pay attention. So, whatever is real can be explained logically. Next, the part under rational is real. So, whatever rationality that we have, rational as in logic, empiricism, scientific temper, everything, all those things, whatever we may have, can be proven that they are real. So, real is rational, can be proven that they are real. For example, now rationality, like logic, 1 plus 1 is 2. We can prove that it is real. And let's say, you know that the earth revolves around sun, not the vice versa. That's the rational aspect, right? Rational aspect. So you can actually prove that by various proofs, by observing eclipse. So whatever is rational can be proved with rationality. So that means, to put it in short, reality is explained by rationality. Reality is explained by rationality, and rationality is proven by reality. So reality is explained by rationality, and rationality is proven by reality. Second part. So rational is real means, so it's rational belief, it's a logical belief that earth revolves around the sun, not vice versa. Can I prove it? Yes, I can prove it. During eclipses, or I can just use a telescope and show that planets revolve around the sun. And why can I prove it? Because whatever is rational is real. Yes, you have to counter it. Yes, whatever logical theory we have, we can prove it by observation, by experiments, by deductions, X, Y, Z things. I know, a little bit of a complicated topic, but it is what it is. Okay, let's go to a lesser complicated topic. Philosophy of wantlessness is utopian, and while materialism is a chimera, right? Chimera means something imaginary, something very imaginary. So the topic is very simple. Both extremes, wantlessness and materialism, is, don't go there. It's impossible. Madhyam mark chuno, middle path, aram se raho, khush raho. Why did I choose the topic? I don't know. I just felt that I will write well, and gut feeling. The other options were, what is research but a blind date with knowledge, and philosophy of wantlessness is utopian, while materialism is a chimera. Chimera, I actually did not know what chimera means, so this topic was ruled out. Chimera means something imaginary, right? So I did not know. Okay, and then right, and then what is research but a blind date with knowledge? So both topic, real is rational and rational is real, and what is research but a blind date with knowledge, were in the same section. So both topics are similar. I have to choose one, and then gut feeling told go for real is rational, and rational is real. I actually started off with that anecdote of Galileo only. So that was my hook for this. I will not go. I don't actually remember a lot of things. But I'll tell you one additional dimension which probably boosted my score. One unique dimension just before conclusion I added. I took all arguments, counter arguments, ekdam mast. And then before I concluded, I just brought in a dimension. Rational, logical, and a commonsensical thing, which may not at all be real, can actually be real. I put an exclamatory mark. My argument, to the best of my knowledge, is this: rational, logical, and a commonsensical thing, which may not at all be real, can be more realer than reality. Sorry, can be more realer than reality. Exclamatory mark. And then I just think, welcome to this era of virtual reality. And if you see, virtual reality is 100% logical and rational. But its reality is it exists in virtual. But yet, it is real. And trust me, I was super happy when I wrote that paragraph. When I saw that paragraph, I was like, yeah, ठीक है, मतलब good. I was like, if I was the evaluator, मैं तो इसको बहुत अच्छे marks दूंगा. It was during brainstorming. One of the reasons I picked this topic is because of this dimension. One of the reasons I picked this topic is because of this dimension. I'll be very honest. So I picked this dimension. I picked this topic because of this dimension. कुछ वाव नहीं यार, practice करो. It's not rocket science, guys. सोचोगे तो आ जाएगा, है ना? It's not a this thing. See, you're saying by wow factor because others would have not written it. So that's the wow factor. And it just takes practice. यार recorded देख लो यार, बहुत थक चुका हूं. I'm very tired. So repeating, will take a lot of time. So just do that. Other topics are homework, guys. बाकी सब ये 2021 तक हमने कर लिया है, ठीक है? Both are all are very simple. Some of them will pick in the skill second session tomorrow, but we will do the what you call the introduction hook core argument के लिए we will use them, ठीक है? And so tomorrow class का बताता हूँ, okay, right? So probably we will be going with मेरा double shift ही लग रहा है, okay, because it doesn't seem to be resolved. They have to place order for a new mic, and this I feel it's much better, though it is a double task for me. I can interact with you better without worrying about the offline people. So I'll keep you posted in any case. Okay. So right, so this was a session 1. Kal we'll start with, actually we have done the brainstorming part. Okay, so this is this is the brainstorming part. Tomorrow we'll start with the introduction. Actually tomorrow introduction hoga. I thought aaj start honga, but it took too much time. So tomorrow we'll start with the introduction, and hopefully we'll enter core argument by tomorrow. आधा core argument कर देंगे and परसों this thing. All right. And recorded session, regarding the recorded session. So since the session is recorded in HD, it will take time to process. Matlab, it's almost more than 3 hours now. So kal ka to chota tha. So it will take 3 hours for the session to be 3 hours the session. It take time for Google to process and send it. So as soon as it's there, I'll upload it. Okay. So have patience. And actually I should be telling to the people who will watch record it, aapne to live kiya. There is no limit, guys, so don't worry. Like, I don't bother about how many times you watch it, or who you share with. Actually I'm going to upload this on YouTube. Just that I'm worried about our trade secrets might leak, but anyways, whatever has to leak, it will leak. But the good thing is somebody sees 3 hours का वीडियो ना, they will इतना शॉर्ट्स देख के आपका मेंटली ऐसा हो गया, 3 hour का वीडियो देखेंगे, हाँ ठीक है यार, नहीं देखते हैं. So that is a good thing. That's where not many people will watch it. So I'm not bothered about piracy. I upload मेरे classes ऐसे ही, so not a issue with me. For me, the magic happens in the one-on-one feedback sessions, because this everybody actually knows most of it. But yeah, they don't have that proper structure or that competence. That's secondary. But for me, when we work one-on-one, like, what to do, what not to do, kaise aapka, you have to discover your unique style of writing. If you just scroll through the chat box, sabke ideas, thoughts, processes same hai. But when we do the one-on-one sessions, that's where magic, visionary decision making happens in those one-on-one sessions. All right, okay. Been a pleasure. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll keep you posted in the channel. Take care. Bye bye. Good night. I'm ending the session.